Hi there. So a few days ago, I got to meet Shama Dominique, who is the mother behind Mommies with Purpose. I was so excited to get to know more about her and her business because it directly aligns with the Mom Coach Wife channel and brand. So we had an amazing conversation for Mompreneur Mondays, and I'm really excited to share it with you. If you are new to this channel, this is Mom Coach Wife. My name is Alina Michelle, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit the bell for notifications so that you get notified every single time a new video is posted. Every Monday, I share with you a mompreneur who is raising babies and businesses all at the same time. And on Wednesdays, we talk about some general mom life stuff to help inspire you and encourage you on your journey of being more than just a mom. But for today, I'm just really, really excited to share with you the conversation that Shama and I had regarding her life, her journey, and Mommies with Purpose. So let's get into it. Hi, Shama.
Hey girl, how are you?
I'm great. How
That's
are
my
you today?
intro for everybody. I'm good. That's my intro, everybody. I'm always say, hey girl.
Hey, I love it. Be you. So, before we get into talking about Mommies with a Purpose, which I've actually personally been following for a while now, and I love what you do, I want you to just tell everyone about Shama, who you are, a little bit about your home life, and what makes you more than just a mom.
Okay, well, as she said, my name is Shama. I have been a mom now for 6 years. My baby's growing so fast. I have three little girls. I am the ages of 27 years old, years young. I'm married, and Mommy's with Purpose was really brought up by God, honestly. Like, as we get further on into the interview, you'll realize as to why. But this was never a plan that I came up with, like, okay, I want to be like a mompreneur. I want to be like, in front of the camera, encouraging mothers. I just always felt the urge, and I always connected with women on a level that I've never could understand, even as a young girl. I've always been the one to encourage people, push people. And what honestly makes me more than a mom is just my ability to be able to be remain in who I am as a person. Once we become mothers, it's like it's really hard to kind of maintain the balance of your identity. And once I realized it was very early where I recognized like there's something wrong here. Like, why is there like stigma against like once you become a mom, it's all about kids. It's all about, what you have to do in your role in a motherhood. It totally like everybody just their individual lives and who they are for themselves as before they were mothers just seems to get put on the back burner. And I think what makes me more than a mom is realizing that I'm an individual first, and also me living my own identity in my own life is also a representation of something that can help my girls out when they get older, understanding that of who they are as individuals prior to them even becoming mothers for themselves.
Yeah, and that is so important. I know, at least for myself, and I've shared my story several times. I feel like I didn't really know who I was even before I became a mom. So then when I became a mom,
Yeah,
it was like so much harder, So it's really important that we have our own identities, and especially raising little girls, because that stigma just continues on if we don't show them something better. So you
right.
told us that you have three little girls, you're married. I love to ask people this because it just adds to the chaos of the family if there is any chaos. Do you have any pets?
I have no pets. Let me tell you why, girl. I like little dogs, little puppies, but my husband like big horses and dogs, and we
That's
just
like
couldn't
the
come to an
common
agreement.
thing.
We just couldn't come to an agreement. So this is going to be a petless home for a little while, to be
Aw.
honest.
Why don't y'all just like go in between and get a medium-sized dog? Compromise a little bit.
Little dogs for me. Little dogs for me. I above the knees is a problem. Medium is fine, but I'm just like, I like cute little dogs. I just, beyond the Chihuahua size, it's a bit too much for me.
Oh, you
To
like
be honest,
little dogs,
I like
like
little dogs.
what I
Yes.
call ankle biters. You like the little they are
Like
feisty,
them. They cute
but
though.
they feisty.
You know,
Little dogs are more feisty than big dogs. Like we have a chow,
that's true.
so he's kind of big. He's like a big old puppy. But we had a Sharanian. She's about this big, and she was feisty.
Yeah,
So
that's probably the smaller the dog, the bigger the attitude.
oh yeah, 100%. She would take on the big dogs, but it was funny because when they got around that fence, she took off.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. All bark, no bite. That's where that came
Mm,
from for sure.
yeah, it was a little dog for sure. So you're petless now, but hopefully soon you and your husband can come to a agreement on getting you a little
Agreement.
dog because it don't sound like you moving from the little dog. He might have to just
Nah,
just
that's
lose this
my
one.
wish. You're right.
What about the girls? What do they want?
They don't care. They just want a dog, period.
Oh, they
But my
just want
husband
something.
says when they get older and they're able to be a lot more responsible, then we'll come back around to the conversation. But as of right now, he's sticking to no dogs.
Gotcha. Yeah, because the oldest one is 6. They not helping right now. And
No, they're not even helping themselves.
nope,
You know?
they still looking for you and dad to do everything.
Right. Right.
So,
Oh,
as far as becoming an entrepreneur, I know you said that God was the driving force in you even creating your business. Beyond God, because I know we're going to get into that in the future as we dive deeper into your business. Who else do you feel was a true inspiration to you in starting up your business and feeling empowered to do so?
my biggest inspiration, honestly, is my grandmother who unfortunately passed away last year. Well, year prior in 2019 in December. My grandma was always able. First off, I was born in an entrepreneurial family. My grandma was a natural born hustler. My mom was a natural born hustler till this day. Like honestly, like even before my grandma rest, up until the last dime she could make, she would make it. I was raised in a household where it was just figure out what you're good at and make some revenue off of that thing. And before I even decided to commit to this brand, I was an event designer for 5 years. Me and my husband, we had a business called Elegant Dreams where we went just doing event designing between baby showers and weddings, different events that
Nice.
we had catered to. And I was sold out for the cause, girl. I literally was just like, you know what, this gonna be my business. We about to have a whole corporation, a whole ordeal. But it was just always something missing. And I just never understood that. And my grandma was always the one that pushed me forward. I was like, you have more in you. You have more in you. You speak differently, you act differently, you walk differently. And those are always things that I've heard constantly as I got older, that I was mature past my age, that I didn't really look like everybody that was in the same building as me. And my grandma just always pushed me to tap into everything that God had placed on the inside of me. And right up until she died, our last decent conversation that we could have amongst the health chaos, she was really just teaching me like you're gonna be able to show everybody exactly what they're missing. And I just always kept that to the back of my mind and kept that in the forefront of my heart. And it's not until I really committed to this, which I really truly understood what she meant and what she saw. So that's why she's truly my inspiration.
Yes. So shout out to grandma. That
Friend?
I'm a big baby. People are gonna start learning this because like I teared up in like 3 of my interviews already. But that was just so sweet. And I love that you came from a place that was encouraging because so many brown girls don't get that.
Hmm.
I also was blessed with that as well, with a family that was encouraging. But yes, it's just always so great to hear that come from another Black woman, that you had a family that was really there for you and understood that you were meant for great things. So shout out to grandma and the rest of the family too, because you said they are entrepreneurs.
Yeah, we all go get us.
Yes. So what was it that really swapped you from doing the events to going into helping moms realize that they have purpose and that they ought to go after that purpose?
Well, the crazy thing was that it wasn't really even a switch. It was a switch, but I didn't even know it was happening. Like that's how crazy it was. As of right now, me and my husband we moved to Georgia earlier last year in April, and prior to that, we were doing really good in our business, and we just realized there was a slow season, and it just was ironically at the time that we were moving. So we just assumed, you know what, we're gonna sell the things that are here, and we're gonna start back up again when we get over there in Georgia, whatever case may be. And then all of a sudden, like I know I had launched the brand prior to moving, but I wasn't going ham on it. I was just really trying to just create a platform where I motivational posts every morning and just, cute little quotes and keep it pushing about my day.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden, I just really felt the urge of God telling me to tap deeper and like go deeper. And I was just like, I'm trying to really figure this out because I know like there was so much in me and so much in my season of darkness, which is when Mommies with Purpose even came about, was in my season of depression. I just wanted to be able to help more. I wanted to be able to give more. And I was like, I just don't understand how to do that and balance the elegant dreams portion. And then when I really sat down, I was really wrestling with it. I realized that ultimately elegant dreams is who I am as an individual. I love celebrating people, I love encouraging people, helping people, but it was always something missing. I just could never tap into it. And it's like I feel like I'm being used to the maximum of my capacity. I mean, I could give you a few couple of hours of greatness for your wedding, your baby shower, whatever the case may be, but when it came to like stuff that I feel like could really reside with you, I knew that that wasn't elegant dreams. Like when you
Yeah.
go down, when you're in your darkest seasons, you're not thinking about, oh girl, but my wedding was real cute. You're not
Right.
thinking about
Right.
that. You're really looking for something of substance. And that's when I really just wanted to use my brokenness and use when I was in my hardship season in my motherhood, which we go through roller coaster constantly. But I really wanted to use that as fuel to help mothers. I just seen more posting and I just seen more ideas of content, and then eventually I really felt the urge of God telling me to expand it, to reach more people, to actually get to speak and go beyond just the post or go beyond just 1 minute of motivational speaking. And that's when I created my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel has now
Yes.
been up for, I believe now, 8, 9 months. And it has been tremendous. I was so scared to launch it at first. I'm like, ain't nobody gonna listen. Like they barely listen on Instagram, But literally, God did so much in just 5 months. God had blown my mind. I had over like 5,000 viewers, and I got to the point I wasn't even paying attention to subscribers. I barely pay attention to my followers anymore because my number one goal is one mommy a day. If I
Mm.
can get to one mom a day, that is literally all that it takes. That's all that it's worth. Because for people to understand, and I think that's what really has unfolded in me, God has really truly given me a heart and like a true feeling to really connect with mothers like in their seasons of hardship. Not in the cute little, our happiest moments, but in those moments where nobody sees you, when you're in the dark crying, like when you in the shower sobbing because you had such a hard day of like just taking care of the kids and trying to figure out your own life. That has truly been like the prize in all of this.
Yes.
I think I just
Well,
spoke too much.
no, you didn't. No, no, you didn't at all. Because honestly, what I was thinking as you're saying that, I'm like, man, I think met you virtually when you started going ham.
Yeah.
Like that's when I met you,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
was like, yo, she dope. Like that was the first thing that I
Thank
thought,
you.
like meeting you, and it was so inspirational to me even meeting you because a lot of what you talk about is the same thing of what I talk about. Is a lot of similarities in what we're
Yeah.
teaching because for me, it was planning and balance, and that was the thing that brought me out of my dark space. And so many times, and I thought like for one, I thought I was alone, when I was going through it.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that there's so many other moms out there that go through these same things, and we just don't talk about it. we
Yeah.
don't we don't vocalize it, we don't broadcast it because we're supposed to be strong for our kids,
Hmm.
like you can't be crying because your kids right there and they like, why mama crying? So you have to like have this strength about you, but in the dark, like you said, it's so many tears and so much pain that does not get talked about. And part of that, I feel like, is because our society, like you said earlier, we just supposed to be moms. Once you have that baby,
Right.
like you don't
That's
exist
about it.
anymore. You're not important anymore. And I remember like feeling that even with family. And I don't know if you ever had that happen, but where you go and see somebody, they're like, oh, the baby, the baby, the baby. And it's like, well, hi.
Oh yeah.
Like, did you forget that I exist? Like, I'm your cousin, I'm your sister, your your daughter, whatever. And it's just like everybody forgets about the mom. And
Yeah.
that's something that is really hard, especially when you're already going through an identity crisis, especially when you're trying
Oh
to
yeah.
figure out who you are and everything. But let me not talk too much. Because I could go on that for
We had dialogue, girl. We had
right. We
dialogue.
we can go on that subject for
Right.
hours.
Mhm.
But we will be live again. So if we want to pick it up,
Yeah.
we can always
We
pick that
gonna pick
back
it
up.
up.
But tell us about your business, where the name came from, your mission within the business. Just tell us a little bit about it.
Okay. So my brand name is Mommies with Purpose. And it came about, like I mentioned earlier, I was really depressed. I found myself like really lost in my motherhood. And I just didn't understand because it seemed like every single time that I was trying to search for help or I was trying to connect with somebody, they just wasn't understanding it. And I just got really in this sunken place where I just felt so alone. I remember talking to my husband one day, telling him like, I feel like I'm drowning. Like this is not normal. Like there could be no reason. Like this motherhood, this is what this motherhood thing is all about. And when I really just decided to give it all to God, just go and soak and like express how I'm feeling and like try to make sense of whatever I was going through in that season, I just heard a whisper in my heart saying, Mommy's with purpose. But I heard it, girl. But I was just like, I don't know what that is. You know, I'm gonna I'm gonna figure this out later. But I literally just it was such power in the statement though that I really still wanted to lean in. I still wanted to know more. And when I started asking God and invited him in, he just started giving me a vision and started making me feel like use what you're going through right now to help somebody else and to be able to create it to be something that people have never experienced in a motherhood. Because I know for me, when I was going through my seasons of hardship, I was looking, and maybe there were motherhood platforms out there that were crushing it. But where I was looking, what I was seeing, it didn't look like what I'm doing right now. It didn't look like what you're doing right now, what Stacey Crawley is doing right now, what the great other motherhood brands that I follow are doing right now, really talking about the big elephants in the room, stuff that's unpopular in the motherhood culture, you know,
Right.
things like that. And I really just decided, you know what? I'm gonna be the difference. Whether that means that it takes me longer to get to wherever I want to get to, I'd rather help mothers and the things that I know that they are going to come forth with and prepare them for that rather than sitting here and just glamorize motherhood like it's look like that 24/7 when that's not really the case.
Yes.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be a difference. I'm gonna lean in. I'm gonna press in. And as I develop, I continue to do that the same. And the slogan that I go for with this brand, Mommies with Purpose, is bridging the gap between mothers and their purpose. No matter what I'm doing, whether it's a funny little comical thing, or whether it's a quote, or whether it's a picture, or I'm making a video, you will always find me smack dab in the middle of you and your purpose. Because I feel like we have a lot of resources out there that's helping you to be a better mom.
Hmm.
If you want to look for how to breastfeed, we got that on deck. If you want to
All the
figure out
time.
like how to, we got all those things
You want to
that.
learn how to clean your house better so it's organized for your kids' toys?
Listen,
It's
we
like
got all of
25
that
blogs
stuff.
about that.
Right. So it's like, okay, but what about this stuff right here? You know, so for me, I want to focus mainly on the mother, their identity, their goals, and push towards them. And you throw in some, motherhood tips and things like that. But my focus is to gain back focus back on the mothers that you're an
The woman.
individual prior to you becoming a mom. That's what this is
Yeah.
all about.
Yeah, because and I tell the story often. You probably hear it in some of my other interviews. The thing that really took me over the edge with it, because I was being hard headed too, was like, I do that when I want to. I thought I wanted to do something. I was doing something totally different.
Oh
before I
yeah, we
started
like
focusing
that.
on moms. I was like, no, I'm gonna do this. Like I done rebranded my business. I'm sticking with this. Girl, I'm closing it. I
Right.
literally closed it last year. But this mom
Um,
was in, it wasn't even a mommy group. I actually looked back into it because I've told the story a few times. So this is the updated version. It actually was not a mommy group. It was just like a women's entrepreneur group. And I must have said something about what I did. And she and I got to talking, and she told me how she had gotten divorced. Her kids was all out of the house. She didn't know who she was. And I'm like, that's terrifying. Like that was the thing
mhm,
that scared me enough to be like, first of all, I need to fix that. Next, obviously, I'm
mhm,
not the only one going through this. Like, this is not a one person, because just like you said, all the stuff about kids, like, oh, I'm trying to figure out how to breastfeed properly, or I want to know if, what size clothes I'm supposed to put on my toddler. Like all that little stuff that's about
mhm.
your kid, you find that so easily. But the things about being a woman and actually embracing yourself as an individual, it's like I know I
Mhm.
couldn't find it. Like I found it, like you said, with you. I also follow Stacy. So
Yeah, I love Stacey.
I'm like, y'all were like really the only other women that I saw speaking about that. Like everybody else, and then you see the people that try to talk about balance, and it's like your house is always perfect. Like right now,
Yeah.
behind my camera is a mess of toys. Okay.
I literally right now my bed is fixed this way because it's in the background. Here's a bunch of laundry. Okay.
Right. Like that's the reality, like behind, and people don't talk about it enough. Like behind all those cute little pictures, it's been several outfit fit changes. I thought I was gonna take cute pictures of my toddler, and then she spills applesauce all over herself. Now we gotta change
Mhm.
outfits. Like there's so much stuff that happens behind the scenes, and I think that we have done ourselves a disservice as women and as mothers to not show that and not speak about it, because then you
That's
got the moms that are overstressing when they're new to motherhood, thinking they got to be perfect, and they're so
mhm.
stressed on those things that they completely forget about themselves.
Yeah.
So it's just like I said, I'm sorry, we getting off track again, but like I said, could go on and on about that. So how long have you been doing Mommies with Purpose? I know you said your YouTube channel has been up for 8 to 9 months now,
Mhm.
but how long has the business been a business?
It has been a thing for recently. I celebrated the 1 year anniversary of Mommies with Purpose in October. I'm
Congrats.
trying to, yeah, October, November, December. So you're looking about like for 15 months going on 16. And Mommies with Purpose has been something in front of everybody's eyes. And we still growing strong. There's so much, even this year is so much in store for this brand, and it's going to continue to expand. And I'm just so excited. This is going to be one of the best years for sure moving forward.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. Like I said, you've been doing some dope things. Definitely have inspired me in a lot of ways. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you bring forth in 2021. So I didn't
Yeah.
realize though that because I think I found you towards like the middle of last
Yeah.
year. So I
Mhm.
didn't realize like how long you have been doing it. Honestly, just the way that you present everything, I would have thought you actually have been in business a little bit longer. So, and that might be because you've done the event
Wow.
thing, but I also thought you were
Yeah.
older than 27 because of the way you present yourself. Not that you don't look it, but I just assume, because I'm like, like 29. She probably like, yeah, she about my age. 20. I mean, you're only 2 years younger, but
Yeah.
she's probably like 29, 30, just the way you carry yourself. But
Thank
I,
you.
currently, especially since you deal with moms, how involved are your girls in your business?
Honestly, I found a little hack. If a mompreneur out there, this is a mother tip as well. You know, at first it was really more of me, and I'll take pictures with the girls and things like that. But I'm actually in a place where I'm actually adding content. For instance, like I think it was last week or the week before, I was trying to plan a photo shoot to fix up what I wanted to get done. The kids just would not stop constantly, like one is in school, but in the other two, they're home with me. And then I homeschool them in the midst of me doing my stuff. And like they just would not let me take pictures. So I was like, you know what? I know we had these t-shirts made for one of our partnerships that I have with another brand. And I was like, you know what, throw on these shirts. We're gonna take pictures together. So we got in front of the steps and we took our pictures, and I just we just really developed into something crazy. Like, cause I in the midst of us taking pictures, it was lunchtime, and they were like, "Mommy, we want food," and I'm like, "Okay, let me do food," and then they're just acting as their usual self. So I'm like, "Oh, this is content as well." So I just let
Right.
them do whatever they do and snap a shot to show like my day in and day out of how it looks, balancing content and motherhood, and then of self care, like me just wanting to sit on the couch and watch a movie for myself. They just come and invade my space. So I'm actually getting to the point where I'm involving the kids a lot more in the midst of the action, because like they're very interested in what I got going on. Like they're always asking questions. You gonna record now? Do you want me to be silent now? Then it
Oh.
was hard. It was hard. It was like girl, if I show you like
Yeah.
snippets of what my YouTube videos look like, it's like, yes, and today we're gonna talk about drop this. It's just crazy behind the scenes. Like I'm literally now, and because I've done it so regularly, consistently, they're like kind of picking up, and they're actually helping me. Like, "Mommy, do you want me to get that jacket? You want me to put that shoe right there?" It's like they've really just been helping me behind the scenes and inward. So like, yes, they are very involved in this brand behind the scenes and in front of the camera.
That's cute. I'm glad they're so helpful. My daughter came down in one of the interviews and was like, I need something from downstairs. I'm like, really? Right now? Like, I thought I gave you everything so you could be up in your room,
Mhm.
chilling, like, good for an
Yeah,
hour. Nah, so
it never
that's really,
stops.
no, it doesn't. Like, it don't matter what you're doing, you still mama. But it's great that as you, and like you said, as you kept doing it, they got accustomed to it. It was like, oh, mom's recording, this is
Mhm.
quiet time. So, and that's
Yeah.
one of the things that I think is so important. If you guys didn't get anything else from what she said, is when you first start, it's gonna be rough, but it gets better as you
Mhm.
go. For one, your family gets accustomed to whatever it is that you're doing. Your kids do adapt. I mean, you are, they kids. They don't throw some curveballs at you. That's just what's
Right.
gonna happen. But they do get accustomed to what you're doing, and it does get easier. Um,
Yeah.
so now that we are in 2021, what is one of
Mhm.
your goals for Mommies with Purpose?
One of my goals for Mommies with Purpose, well, actually, two of my goals, which is actually coming out soon. So I actually don't mind sharing it. And this is actually going to be the first that anybody hears about it. So consider, yourself honest. But in 2021, Mommies with Purpose will be expanding the brand of the thrift side, which is right now currently I have the YouTube channel and the platform, but I recently November launched the thrift side, which is mainly Mommies with Purpose is catering towards mothers on the inside, on the internal work, with the heart and the care and all that stuff. But sometimes it's easier said than done to feel better, but sometimes you don't feel better on the outside. You can feel better
Mhm.
on the inside or want to be able to feel like, okay, but when you look in the mirror, let's be honest, once we go to the situation of our mom bod and not feeling comfortable in our own skin anymore, it's kind of hard. It's kind of like a conflicting place to be. So thrift
Yeah.
side, I'm using my love of thrifting to be able to show mothers like this jacket, this whole suit, this is thrifted, okay? So
It's
like
cute.
literally, thank you, girl. But like literally, I just wanted to be able to use everything of who I am to be able to cater to this brand, and that's where the thrift side came from. My love of thrifting and my love of what's the word? A sustainable living. Why I was thinking stability.
I don't know.
A
Don't feel bad. I would lose my
sustainable
words all the
living.
time.
But yeah, like my love is sustainable living, and through my thrifting, I want to use that to be able to help mothers to revamp their look, repurpose their look, and like their wardrobe or whatever the case may be. Because sometimes we ain't got all the coins, out here to be go create a whole new closet, but I can teach
Right.
you how to utilize things in your closet and how to just go to your local thrift stores. And there's some amazing thrift stores out there with clothes that literally have brand new tags people have not worn, because if you learn about the marketing, especially when it comes to fashion, we are
Mhm.
outrageous. So it's like you can go out there and pick the smallest thing that you may not think would really help your brand or help your look, and it will actually like just give you a whole entire look, and you'll feel a lot more confident about yourself. And then the next thing that I also have building up is the Mommy Chats Unfiltered podcast. I am currently working on creating my podcast because I realized that although people love the YouTube videos, I get a lot that people don't get to see. Motherhood is calling. They knocking at the door. So I'm sorry. Give me one
No,
second.
you're fine. Go ahead.
Who's at the door? Open the door. I'm recording. I'll let you know when I'm done. That's what this is real life, people.
Right?
But literally, like I know I get a lot of people that talk to me or like, oh, I love watching the videos, but I had to stop and pause. I had to go do this. I had to do that. So I really have, especially with the times we're living in right now with COVID, you have to really adjust to the times. You have to really make it convenient for people,
Yeah.
especially mothers where we don't have a lot of times. So I'm really trying to expand this brand to help mothers who's on the go. Like maybe you have time to sit and watch the video, but on your ride to work, you can literally that thing up, put the podcast episode on, and catch the latest episode or whatever, an extended version of what I was talking about on YouTube, whatever the case may be. So those are the two things that's happening with Mommies with Purpose this year, which later on I'll be launching my Mommy Chats Unfiltered podcast. And the thrift side is also going to become its own online boutique.
Nice. Well, congratulations on both things that you got going on. I have a
Thank
nerd
you.
question about the podcast. So
Okay.
I don't know what you use to edit your videos and whatnot, but are you planning to just like take the audio from your YouTube videos and insert that as your podcast, or are you like doing a
Oh,
completely separate show but like on the same topic essentially?
it will be completely it's going to be completely separate but in the same kind of wavelength. So for instance, if you listen to a radio station like for instance the Breakfast Club, we
Right.
know them to be a radio station. You hear them often, but if you go on YouTube, you can see behind the scenes of them talking on the mic and things like that. So for me, I'm visually using that, me in my little materials and stuff like that, being able to do that on YouTube with also extra visuals to be able to paint the picture I'm speaking about. But then at the same time, I have my mic that's recording on another platform on another software on the computer, where I'll be taking that audio to make it its own thing. So kind of they're separate, but they're kind of like one and the same.
I
That's
got
kind
you.
of the direction.
Okay, that was just the nerd in me coming out because, like, as you were talking, I'm seeing like in Final Cut Pro, like taking the audio out and uploading it somewhere else. So, sorry,
Okay.
that's just me nerding out a little bit. Um, so what do you feel like in the year, in like 4 months that you've been in business, has been your biggest success so far?
My biggest success, I would say, it has to me, it is behind the scenes, because when I first started Mommies with Purpose, it was really hard to balance, especially like when we talked about here with like, the glitz and glamour of motherhood, that's
Mhm.
out there. A lot of people are drowned by that. So we're dealing with things and bringing up topics and trying to help pull out what the real work and the things that are really serious in motherhood that they don't really see. So it was kind of hard to like try to find the balance between how do I make this look appealing to somebody who cares more about the pictures and likes and all that,
Right.
rather than somebody who's really drowning and really needs the help. So I found myself kind of like in a sunken place in the beginning stages because, oh, I'm recording. Baby. Talk to Juliet. Do not do that. Go talk to Auntie Baby. This is real life.
It
This has
is.
never happened before, by the way.
I like I think I like jinx moms because this happens to me all the time. Like it's either my kid or it's somebody else's kid. But I'm just like, you know
Um,
what? It is what it is. I actually said it on the
right.
first episode of I'm like, if you don't like it, you can't get past it, and I'm sorry, this ain't the platform for
Yeah, so
you
it's gonna
to
be a
be
problem.
like sorry, it's just not for you then. But continue with what you were saying.
But yeah, I found it really hard to balance between like trying to make sure that this platform looks attractive to somebody who would want to see that part of motherhood, but at the same time is open and willing to learn about the other aspect about it. So I found it to be where I found myself in a place where I was allowing outsiders and the platforms themselves to name my brand. And when I
Mm.
really got down to it and I was really feeling, I went through some hard stages where I'm just like, man, I don't even want to do this anymore. And people are not getting it. And then I really started to understand like they're getting it because I was never giving it to them. So now you will
Mhm.
always hear me whenever I open a podcast, YouTube, you will always hear me letting you know what the brand is about. You will always see what I'm talking about. I will not allow you to figure out to be like, oh, okay, this what it. No, I'm going to tell you what the brand is about. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to service you. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to cater towards your motherhood and your journey. And I think that's what for me that's the biggest win. Being able to find like the brand, find the identity of this brand underneath all of that extra rubble that's going on social media and these different platforms has been the biggest win for me because I know moving forward, even if I find myself in a season where I'm feeling kind of lost, I will always be able to pinpoint myself back to the aim and the target of all of it.
Yeah, and that's so important. Anyone watching that's thinking about starting a business is really important to know your purpose, to know what that meaning
Mm-hmm.
is, what that mission is for your business. And that was something I also had to learn because I shifted from like coaching entrepreneurs to coaching mommies specifically. And it was like
Mm-hmm.
this gray area for a while there of
Oh
like,
yeah,
what does she do?
you're gonna go through it. We are gonna go through it, but
Yeah.
it's a shaping season for sure.
Yeah. So, it is important that you have a cohesive message, and you definitely do. I can tell that at least from the point that I found you at. I think, like I said, at that point, I think that was when you was really going in. So I didn't see the little building blocks that was happening. But yeah, that
Yeah.
message is definitely cohesive now. At this point, do you have any employees in your business?
I don't have anybody that I'm working with. I just invested in my brand though with a brand strategist. She
Nice.
helps me
Yeah.
like fizzle out all of these ideas and things. It keeps me on track. I'm definitely investing in that. But move further on down the line, I really want this to become a community. I don't want to be the only face of this brand, and I don't want to be the only mother that's involved. I do see this as a community brand where other mothers could correlate that actually have the same heart and the same purpose in mind. Um, and just being able to cater towards mothers in any aspect down the line. But as of right now, it's just a one man marching band, in the background that deserve a
Hey,
lot of
no
credit.
shame in that. I'm a one woman show myself, so I get
Yeah.
it. It's we got to build up to that point, but I love that you see it as a community thing, because that is a good way to get different viewpoints of purpose out there. So I think that that's
Right.
pretty great. Currently, where are you advertising your business?
Currently, right now, I'm on Facebook, I am on Instagram, I am on TikTok, and YouTube as well. But on YouTube, it's Mommies with Purpose, Facebook, Mommies with Purpose as well, and Instagram, Mommies with Purpose. The only difference is on Twitter. Twitter, they was playing around my name, so it's actually
Oh,
purpose underscore mommies. But I'm also on that on Twitter as well. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and I think I said Instagram already. But yeah,
YouTube.
those are the platforms. YouTube,
Yep,
YouTube.
that was the one. It was YouTube. All right, awesome. Now, specifically, what are the services that your business offers to mommies who are looking to figure out who they are and what they're supposed to be doing in this world?
The services I pretty much am giving mothers right now is just motivational. I'm mainly just helping you gear you up mentally, physically, emotionally for whatever it is that you want to do. I do have mothers that reach out to me via DMs, whatever the case may be, and they ask me questions. If I'm not able to answer, or I'm based on whatever my experience is with the brand or any experience that I've had previously, I'm always able to give them a helping hand and leading them on to someone else that can. Like for instance, my great brand strategist, she's amazing. It doesn't matter what you have as an idea, has she's a brainiac. So like if something like that, if somebody is really ready to gear up and move forward, it's right now I would say that my brand is like the prepping stage. Like prepare you mentally, physically, emotionally to understand like it's not gonna be easy and your motherhood is gonna play a factor sometimes, whether positive or negative, but you can still do this and keep you remaining your identity, remembering who you are as a person. And then from there, when you're ready to step out, I would that's honestly one of my goals long term would be able to grow this thing so that I can actually be able to hand mommies the baton like, hey, here's the person that you can go to whenever you're in need, whatever. But as of right now, it's more in the prepping stage. But again, if you have questions or whatever the case may be, you can definitely do that. But definitely when the boutique side opens, that will cater towards mothers who are looking, because I get a lot of mommies who say, hey, I want to thrift. I just don't know how to thrift. Or like, I want to, I'm not really a shopper. Or how do you find all these things? I can't seem to have the eye to find it. That brand will actually cater towards helping mothers get whatever they want. So I have two different aspects of that boutique that I'm going to be launching, which is to help mothers with their whole attire, depending on how many pieces they want to buy, or individually when I take photos or make reels and like that. If you're interested in a piece that I have on, it'll be up for sale for you to grab.
Nice. So it's like your own personal like to know it.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah.
But it's like thrift specific. It's based on just like you directly. That's dope. See, and you lost your word, and I'll do this all the time. I just lost my thought. I had a question
Oh yeah.
that was not part of my general list, and I completely lost it.
Yeah.
So we'll just go on into balance.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about what your typical day looks like and how it is that you are balancing so much greatness with your business and raising 3 little girls, being a wife, and still taking some time for just you. How do you do it?
Okay, y'all grab a pen and paper and some water. But honestly, I just that's crazy because I literally just recorded. I'm putting out an episode today about how to be productive, and I think that my lifestyle and how I how I'm being productive has really just helped me to be able to like balance out all of that. And honestly, it's like just living in harmony, like just trying to figure out that I got to shout out to Stacey, got to Stacey, you know, living
Yes.
in harmony and like not allowing one thing to like tip you over, like just figuring out the ways and like the balance of everything itself. Honestly, I feel like the way that you start is going to play a huge factor in how you end. Like for
Yep.
me, I used to sleep in all the time, especially when I only had 2 kids. They will let me sleep till noon if they can. They never interrupt me, or they'll be sleeping in themselves. But
Lucky.
it's not until but it's not until the last one came where you know
She's like,
start getting a 7 to 8 o'clock ringers. And so now we're in that place where we wake up that early. But for me, I realized that if I don't take advantage of my time beforehand, I would not be able to complete any of this. So like for me, a day to day would look like me waking up at 6:30 to be able to keep out of my phone as much as possible, actually meditate and get my heart, my mind right the day. And it honestly starts the night before because I kind of like set myself to 3 tasks to complete or one big task to complete for that day. So that when I wake up, I already know after I'm done meditating what I'm jumping into. But then once I'm done meditating and getting my mind right, I go straight to the kids, get them ready, set them up. And as long as my kids got full belly, they good to go for the day. So I'm like, they give me once I get them breakfast and they're good to go watching their little TV shows, that buys me at least 2 hours to create content, to plan what I want to record or to do research, things of that sort. And tip and toeing throughout the day, checking on them, make sure they ain't burn the house down and stuff like that. But honestly, it's just really the flow of that. I take those moments to really create my content, do whatever I need to do, record together if I need to, so that I can be able to keep a head start on my content and on my day. And then I'm usually done with my day by 3 p.m., but I still work part-time. So I go to work and then I come back home and, my husband practically holds the house down while I'm gone. So, he's good on that end, but he's just such a great partner because honestly, for me, I wouldn't be able to reach as far as I reach now had it not been for my husband. Like he cooks, he cleans, he takes care of the girls. Like he literally picks up where I left off. And I
Yeah.
think that's a huge part of my success in the brand and everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's my day to day.
Sounds like a full day, but you got it down packed. And yet I'm with you on the waking up early. Because if I don't wake up early,
Mm-hmm.
if I
And
don't get my day
you ain't
started,
gotta like it. Trust me, I don't like it,
oh
but
no.
do it because I have to.
Yeah, you just gotta find the time that works for you because it's different for
Hmm.
everybody. I know you said you're 6:30 a.m. Mine is 4:30 a.m. because if I don't get up and get to it right then and there,
So what time you go to bed?
I go to bed at 10.
Oh, that's hard. I
It
be trying
is.
because
It
here's
is.
my
'Cause
thing. Is I'm busy throughout the day, so my time to watch my little shows is when I come back home at night. And my kids are already in bed, so I just be watching. And I look, it's like 12, 1. I'm like, ooh, gotta
that
go
was
to
last
bed.
night. We just found a show, The Travelers on Netflix, and we've been binge watching it. I don't
See,
know
that's
what.
that.
We actually fell asleep
I'll
on the
watch a
couch
movie.
watching it. So I didn't get up till
I
7 today.
can't.
But we kind of already knew what our plans were for the day, so we got right to it. I did my little
Hmm.
workout, came back, was like, I got a 2 o'clock, y'all, and everybody, they're
Hmm.
all in their respective places right now. So yeah, but I just know if I don't get up before my daughter, especially, see.
Juliana, I'm recording. Thank you.
No, you're fine. If it wasn't for the kids center at the gym, mine would be up right now, probably trying to sneak her way down these steps. So
Listen, this has it usually happens like once, but 3 times? Oh no.
mhm.
Yes, let's continue along.
They just try to test now, like how much can we get in here?
Yeah, I don't understand. I gave them snacks. What else, Lord? Oh no.
I gave a whole tray of snacks the day my daughter came down the stairs. I'm like, you got snacks, water, shows? Like, what else do you need? You're 3.
Right.
But
Well,
how did you motivate yourself to start getting up earlier and like actually tackling your day to say, look, I need to get this done? What did you do to truly motivate yourself to do that? Because I know that's a hard thing for a
it
lot of
is
people.
hard. I honestly just prepare myself mentally for it. And what helps is because my husband also wakes up early. So if I fall back to sleep, he like give me a little nudge to wake up a lot earlier. But I honestly the night before set myself like I don't go further past 1 a.m. because I know if I go past 1 a.m., I'm not waking up at 6:30. Like that's not happening. But
Mhm.
I give myself sometimes I do go to sleep a bit earlier, but most of the times. But if it's like 1 o'clock, I shut it off. I gotta force myself to go to bed, and then I set an alarm clock, and I set multiple to try to get myself together. So it's like just in case I don't wake up at the 6:30, I wake up at 6:35, or whatever the case may be. But usually because I have to get my daughter ready for school as well, it also helps. So I kind of like use my motherhood duties to kind of help me get up out of bed. And then I also know like my phone is like the closest thing. I put it somewhere where it's like, okay, now you have to get up to turn this alarm clock off. So I put
Yes.
it a little bit further away from me. So it kind of forces me to move my body, get out the bed, turn it off. And by that time, I'm getting uncomfortable to try to fall asleep again.
Right.
So that's kind of like the routines I use, like just multiple alarms, make sure I keep my phone as far away so I can wiggle my body and get out that little comfortable spot that your bed done created for you.
Hmm.
And also my husband, a huge help of me waking up. But yeah, that's
Yeah, I like
it.
that phone one. That's one that I do too. We have a little
Mhm.
TV stand in our room, so my phone is up there, so I have to get out of bed. Downside is that I
Mhm.
found out that apparently I can walk in my sleep and not even know. Like I turned my alarm off a few times and went back to sleep.
What?
I was like, I'm looking at my husband like, did you turn my alarm off? Like, no, you did. I was like, when? It's like at 4:30 when it went off. So that
Yeah,
if you don't sleepwalk, then you good.
you good.
but apparently I do sometimes. Didn't even know it.
Girl, you covered by the blood, girl. You still here.
Yeah, I'm so like, I haven't tripped over no toys that then got left in my room, slipped on any laundry or anything, nothing. Like I've survived the sleepwalk. Like I don't know how, but it's worked. Now, when we're going back into your business, what do you feel like has been the biggest obstacle for you as a mom running a business?
The biggest obstacle I feel like for me, I say obstacle. For me, I feel is like, sometimes I get really caught up into, especially right now, the season that I'm in this brand, it's like I'm in the building stage. So I have to really go ham. I really have to be intentional about the time that I set to do certain things. And sometimes I feel like I find myself in mommy guilt sometimes, like, am I spending too much time like doing this? Or am I balancing this correctly? And I also, me and my husband, we're very transparent with each other. And I always let him know, like, babe, if I'm slipping, like, just let me know, because I don't want to get so caught up in where the brand is more important than my family. And the
Right.
complete, that's a complete lie. And it would never happen. I know people, like, especially in entrepreneurship, I heard it a lot, and which would made me kind of hesitant and wanting to go for the brand and go for everything, is because I was also hearing, like, something always has to be sacrificed. And for me, I don't truly believe like my family has to be one of them. So just finding a balance between, okay, this is too much and this is good over here, and prioritizing. That's what has really helped me in my productivity, being able to get up early, knock everything out that I need for the day, so that even if I'm doing something down the line of my day, it's not like it's taking a ton of time from me to be able to take care of the kids, spend time with them, or do what I need to do for them and my household and my husband. I'm able to like really focus in and complete a set time. So like I said earlier, 3 p.m. I needs to be done. It don't matter what happens, how many things I got on the list. If I have to carry some things over the next day or sacrifice some time, I'm going to do that. Or sometimes if I find myself slipping on a task when I come back home from work and I'm done doing whatever I need to do, if I have like an hour that I can spill, I'm going to use it. But that has been really the toughest thing, is just trying to find a balance between being able to cater towards this baby that God has given me, but then also created to cater to my family and like the time that I have to spend with them, the things that they need from me, and being completely available for them whenever they need it, regardless of what I got going on with the brand.
For sure. Yeah, that mom guilt is real.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I was gonna have it because I could be tough on other people's kids.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that mom guilt, that one's
It's
rough. I
serious.
recently had like a moment of it after launching Mompreneur Mondays and it being more than I expected, and I was like, wait, I still gotta make sure I'm doing some kind of cutoff and spending time with her, especially we're doing home pre-K. And I know you said you were doing some homeschool stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
That takes a lot of attention. Shout out to
Oh
teachers,
yeah.
because I found out real quick I
Listen.
am not a teacher.
Newfound respect.
Right.
Okay.
Like I didn't really think much about teachers, no disrespect, but I do now. I definitely do now. I'm like, how do y'all do this? Like we just
Right.
read this. What you mean you don't know
They
what it
even
said?
yours.
Right.
Right. Like they even yours.
Right.
Like we
Like I love my baby. And I try to be so patient, but my patience get cut real short with I'm like, we just spelled and
don't.
read this word 16 times.
Mm-hmm.
And now you don't know what it is. What? So yeah, I don't have the
They have a
patience to be a
grace on
teacher.
their lives.
They do. The underpaid, overworked, and dealing with everybody's kids and they different issues,
Right.
whatever they may be.
Right.
So now some of my fun questions. If
Okay.
you had 3 wishes, it can be anything, it does not have to be business related, mommy related, or anything. You have 3 wishes. What would those wishes be for?
My first wish is that I could fly, because I still haven't got the tardiness down packed sometimes. I want to fly. I just get to where I need to get to, no traffic,
Like
no
jet
nothing.
speed fly or like
Like boom, there. that
So
type of
are we
fly.
talking flying or teleporting? Because you said boom there, like.
I want to fly because I like scenery. I like
Okay.
driving, riding, whatever the case may be. So I want to fly. I'm trying to teleport, miss the adventure in the transportation.
Might miss something
So
along the way. I got you.
right. So
Okay.
I want to catch a little scene, but as long as long as it's gonna take me to get there, I just need to get there. That's one. The second one, um, the second thing I would wish is that people can see my heart because I think especially with the times we're living in, there's a lack of love, like all over the place. And I just really want people to see, like, people do still have hearts. People
Right.
still are, we still need a lot of love. People still care about you. Like, some people, a lot of the times when I talk to people or advise them, it's like, nobody cares. Nobody sees me. Nobody, like, no, people do. People do still care about you. There are people out there that still have hearts walking around. So I wish people could see my heart. And the third thing, what's the third thing that I wish? Uh, I would wish that everybody find their purpose. I truly believe like this world would be a completely better place if everybody knew their purpose and went for it.
Yes.
Like the Bible says, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard the great things that God is going to do. He's still doing great things. And I think we could get accustomed to looking at what's going on already. Oh, they already got that. Oh, they already got this. Like I could have easily said, oh, we have a lot of motherhood platforms out there, but it's still missing you. There's still
Mhm.
something missing that's on the inside of you. And I just truly believe that if everybody just tapped into what they were given, oh man, this world, we wouldn't be worried about all these extra stuff going on out here in these
Right.
streets. Like we would be able to focus solely on whatever it is because it ultimately leads and caters to somebody that needs it. So
Mhm.
it's like if you who knows if I never picked up the baton, who else and the people down the line that haven't yet to even meet me or have yet to even interacted with this platform, they don't know what they need until they see it. So like
Yeah.
imagine how many people are attached to us and people truly don't even believe that people are attached to what they do. But I truly believe there's millions and thousands attached to what you're doing, attached to this brand. So those are the three things. Flying, somebody seeing my people seeing
That
my
one was
heart.
funny.
And listen, I want to fly, girl. Fly, people seeing my heart, and honestly, people going for their purpose.
Yes. The flying thing was funny mostly because I'm the same way. Like I'm
Listen,
still working on the tardiness. It
mm,
wasn't I can't even blame motherhood on it because that it was pre-motherhood and the motherhood just made it worse.
for real.
And so I have to kind of put a block in like 15, 20 minutes before for some things to
Oh
just make
yeah.
sure. Like I have an alarm. I have a 9 o'clock meeting that I have to do every morning for real estate. And I have an alarm that goes off the minute before so that I make sure I get on the call. Because I'll look at
Yeah.
my phone and it'd be like 8:30. And be like, okay, yeah, I
And you
got 30
ain't gonna
minutes.
move.
And then I'll
Mm.
look at it again and it's 9:30. I'm like, dang, I just missed that. So yeah, I get
Girl,
it.
it's real. It's
But
real out here.
your second wish was also very beautiful to because I do think that that's a big thing. Actually, your last two are things that I think would make a true impact on this world. If we could see one another's hearts and see that there's people who care. A lot of times, even people that do some foul stuff, they have good hearts, but they just in a position where they don't like going into your third wish. They don't feel empowered to do the things that they really are called to
Mm-hmm.
do. I really,
Yeah.
I know that some people just end up being bad people, but I don't think the majority of people are truly, truly bad. It's just
Yeah.
they don't see where
Lack of
they're
vision.
good. Yeah, don't see where that
Mm.
good is gonna come out. So, to wrap up today's interview, because I am going to have you live on February 22nd when this airs, I just want you to tell everybody one more time how they can connect with you, where they can find Mommies with Purpose, and if there's any tips, tricks, advice, or anything you want to leave everybody with after you tell them how to connect with you, go ahead and leave them with that.
Okay. Well, you can connect with me on Instagram at Mommies with Purpose. You can also connect with me on YouTube, my Mommies with Purpose channel on there. And I'm also on TikTok under Mommies with Purpose, Facebook, Mommies with Purpose, Twitter. Purpose with the ED_mommies. And honestly, before we conclude this, I just want everybody and especially every mother to know that you can do it. Like it does not matter what your circumstance look like, you can do it. Like literally, God can take anything, and even what you're in right now, no matter what it looks like, no matter how you're feeling. And I've been there too. Like, dang, like God, how could you use this? Like, this is a hot mess. Like, it may look a mess to you, but I promise you, God is a master at what He does, and He's gonna take every piece of you, even the ones that you think pieces that you think are broken, and He's gonna make it new and make it to be something that you have yet to even discover about yourself. And also don't be afraid or don't feel uncomfortable to discover the new part of yourself. As you're getting to unfold as a mother, as you're getting to unfold as an individual, there's going to be new parts of yourself that you're going to have to learn to embrace in order to become of everything that you are built, that you are made actually to become. It's okay to feel a lot differently. It's okay to feel like, okay, this is not something that I'm used to, but sometimes the best things come out when they're unexpected, and the best things come out when they're not something that you could have even thought of for your own self. But ultimately, go for your purpose, girl. You got it.
Well, thank you so much, Shama, for signing up for this series and being a part of it. I look forward to doing our live on February 22nd. So thank you again. And I'm excited to have you back on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah. I was just glad you responded.
Yeah, and I just also wanted to let you know that I love what you're doing. I think that, you know, we could never get enough of this. And it's something really empowering, and it's something that's really encouraging to see. Like, no matter what, we all have different aspects of certain things, but as long as you're going for it, I'm happy that everybody that may not interact with me or may not interact with another brand can interact with yours. As long as we have, like, we know, like, we content sisters, we
Yes.
motherhood brand sisters. We have a lot of everything else. We cannot get enough of this right here. And I just want to thank you for your boldness, and thank you for your vision of this, by allowing us to be able to have this platform to be able to speak to other mothers and reach people that we probably wouldn't have been able even to reach on our own.
Yeah, and that's the goal. That's what I want. I want moms to, and I say this often with the series, like, it's not even just to be an entrepreneur, because not everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur. I mean, that's just the way it is. But your purpose could be in a career, your purpose could be in a hobby. It doesn't really matter what it is, but it's just that empowerment for moms to say, you know what, if Shama can come out here and she can turn her whole life around, raise 3 babies, run a business, work part-time, keep her marriage strong, like, then I can go, and if fitness is the thing, I can go work out for an hour a day and take some time to me. I can go after mountain climbing, whatever it is that you want to do. I don't know who you are, what you want to do, but whatever it is, that's the whole point here, is to see these stories that don't get told, to be honest. You know, one of the things that I talked about with the platform is, and it's something you touched on earlier too, I saw so many women who are entrepreneurs, but we never talked about them being mothers. Like, how many of those women were actually mothers, and how many of those women were juggling feeding a baby while sending out emails and while creating their content and while rebranding themselves? Like, we never really see that side of it. It's already hard being a woman in business. That's already, you know, one thing that's knocked against us. But then you add in being a mother, and everybody thinks that's all you're supposed to be, you know? So I thank you for seeing exactly what it is that this is meant to be.
Thank you.
So make sure you guys join us 8 p.m. live, Instagram. See you
live.
Live.